my Kenyan friends, they call me Yiwa. At times I wonder why they put so much energy and vibrancy into what I love it. And some others have christened me Twa. Anyways, Kenya is like second home for me, and I always love it being here. I'm the CEO founder of Marlocks Technologies, a cloud consulting and AI transformation organization. We help organizations adopt cloud, leverage AI to facilitate accelerated data transformation. But today I don't want to talk about cloud particularly. I don't talk about AI. I want to talk about a major pain point that we've realized over the years while engaging customers. And that's why this topic is very, very sensitive and also very dear to us at Marlocks Technologies. Beyond migration, FinOps as a growth enabler. It's been interesting conversations since morning. I really like the session of the CIO and attentive and the data conversations was quite refreshing. And they touched on so many relevant pain points. And thanks to you that came upstairs to give your experience about the cloud, about cloud adoption, about security, and so much, and about AI, which is quite refreshing. We have realized, if I say that, let me just put it out there that migration is not transformation, right? I get into rooms and people say, oh, migrate to the cloud, that's how you start, that's how you begin your data transformation journey, that's how you get transformed. But really, migration is not data transformation, it's more than that. Stats has proven that over 80% of FSIs have migrated at least one critical workload to the cloud. I remember Mr. Nelson saying that most African banks now have one workload already on the cloud, and some are still struggling with the on-premise infrastructure. So the point is, if you're here and you don't have one workload on the cloud, you need to do a reality check, right? Yeah. And I can also understand why that is. I'll touch on that as we move on. 60% say they struggle to track return on investment from these cloud deployments. And 33% of top executives report unexpected cloud cost spikes in the past year. Now the question is cloud a problem? Right? I was having an interesting conversation with a gentleman just out there. I think that's you, right? You mentioned that, oh, we left the cloud. Why did we leave? The cost was crazy. I've had that conversation a number of times, right? And I hear different CIOs, whenever they're discussing cloud or the need to migrate to cloud and pitching it to executive management, they keep saying, oh, we want to reduce our savings, we want to reduce our costs. Yeah, it's good. As senior executives, three things are important to us. Innovation, right? Revenue generation, and free cost reduction. So it's okay if you think, okay, I want to bring down my cloud costs. Right? But it's beyond that. The major thing is, if your major success metric for your cloud journey is cost savings, then the truth of the matter is you have underutilizing the cloud. It's okay to cut costs, but how are you cutting that cost? And what are you doing with this money you have saved? That's the question. Cost reduction is the smallest promise of the cloud. Capability expansion is the real one. Now, there are two schools of thoughts. There's an old mindset, there's a new mindset. The old mindset says, how do we reduce cloud costs? So if I'm speaking to you right now as a CIO, a CTO, as a CDO, and you're thinking, how do I bring down cloud costs? Probably you're still thinking the old way. And it's not your fault. That's how most of cloud sales executives pitch cloud. Oh, come to the cloud, bring down the cost. Oh, come to the cloud, you leverage this. And when you're also pitching it, you're thinking, oh, once I get to the cloud, I keep reducing my costs. When I posted speaking about this event on LinkedIn, somebody commented, he said, so what does that really mean that moving to cloud is like transferring my technical debts on premises to the cloud without extra value? That is the person's perception. I understand why he thinks that way. But the new mindset is saying, how do we maximize value per dollar? Right? This should separate cloud adopters from cloud leaders. So the issue isn't cloud. The issue is cloud economics. How do you approach cloud economics? how do you approach financial operations in the cloud? In as much as I like telling my friends, I like telling my partners, I like telling my customers, come to the cloud, adopt AI. More importantly, I tell them, do you have a cloud economics in place already? Do you know what that means to have a cloud economics in place already? So that you don't run to the cloud and run back. Right? Now, people ask the question, what's revenue migration and FinOps? Now, migration is, where do my workloads run? Well understand, it's a technical milestone. So achieving that is fantastic. But what is the extra? FinOps is a business milestone. Is this workload delivering value? I know some of you are wondering where I'm going to it. You will get the gist very soon. Is this workload delivering value? That's FinOps. It's a business milestone. And now there's now an executive mindset shift, an executive refrain that makes FinOps a leadership tool, not just a cost reduction exercise, which is what most CIOs try to do. Oh, let me reserve this instance, I will reduce my costs. Oh, let me shut down this service and bring down my costs. Oh, let me do this and bring down my costs. Oh, right? Let me have the savings plan in place and bring down my costs. But really, FinOps is not really the work of a CIO or a CTO. It's a leadership tool. FinOps enables leaders to answer questions like, which product deserves more investments? Which workload do we spend? Where should we scale faster? And so much more. And when you're having this conversation of FinOps, most times you don't see head of customer experience in the room. You don't see the CEO in the room. You don't see the CTO in the room. You don't even see the CEO in the room when you're discussing FinOps. It's just either the finance manager and the IT manager talking about FinOps, which shouldn't be. FinOps is an executive approach to intelligent decision making, where you have to bring everybody together. Everybody needs to be part of the process. I'll explain further. Now, imagine a case whereby your cloud spend, let's say, is $10,000 per month. For some of us, say that's a lot. For some of us, that's peanuts. Okay, you're spending $10,000 per month on your cloud spend. And the workload you are running on the cloud, you have a workload that is yielding you $1,000 in terms of revenue generation every month. And that workload is consuming like a $4K, whatever, out of that $10K. And you have another workload, right? Probably a customer experience, agentic AI workload, which is on the cloud. That is consuming like, let's say $15K. And in terms of revenue generation, customer adoption, it's giving you like a $200K every month. Are you going to worry about spending $15K on that workload? So that is where FinOps comes into play. What are you spending your money on? Where do you need to cut investments? Where do you need to increase inflation? What if you're spending $50K on the cloud right now, and I can help you save $40K out of that $50K, and I free up that $40K for you to be able to invest in things like credit scoring, as my brother said when he was speaking, leveraging AI, or deepening AI using lending for lending to drive more loans into the organization. What if I can free up some cloud spend for you to do all of that? That is where FinOps comes into play. So we don't discuss FinOps with just CTO or CFO. Everybody needs to be involved. Now, FinOps speaks about it allows you to move fast without losing control. So before you even start talking about I want to go to the cloud, I want to invest in AI, because let me be honest, AI is cost intensive. So we can talk the talk. When it's time to walk the walk, we understand that AI is cost intensive. But the question is, do you have the right FinOps practice in place to ensure you can justify the value of AI to executive management for them to make that investment, which will in turn give a lot of revenue for the organization? So, with FinOps, you unlock predictive economics, confident innovation budgets, faster releases, safe experimentation, scalability of platforms. Now, AI modernization organization. Yes, we are an AI first company, so we have a lot of AI solutions that we encourage customers to adopt to make them accelerate transformation. Yes, we are. We're also a cloud first company. We want to become to the cloud. But while we are doing that, we need to take a step gently. What FinOps practice you have in place? Innovation without economic design is risk. It's big risk. So I want to encourage all my senior executives right here, right now, that the first thing to think about on your cloud and AI journey is FinOps as a growth enabler. Now, Marlocks has a well-tested and designed FinOps framework, and we'll go through these 4 phases. The first phase is inform. Now, this is where most companies stop. Real-time visibility and granular cost management. Look at everything. Where is that cost spiking? Why am I spending so much? That's the first part of it. Beautiful. But we need to take a step forward towards the optimized stage of FinOps framework, which is high resource elimination, commitment coverage. Now, once you've achieved that, which some of us also do, but we ignore step 3 and 4, operates. Operate simply means continuous governance powered by automation. You have to have automation in place to check and balance you at all times. And everybody needs to be carried along. And finally, outcome. You have to measure your outcome. Sustainable growth through financial accountability culture. This framework has been implemented for a number of banks, a number of insurance companies, here in Kenya, in Nigeria, in Ghana. And we have realized that more customers are coming to the forefront now to adopt cloud only, because before they take the first step, they know what they are doing. They know where they want to invest. They know how they want to accelerate innovation. They want to know how they want to accelerate growth from inception. And that's what FinOps does for you. So FinOps goes beyond just cost reduction. I would say this: migration starts the transformation process. I agree, right? FinOps sustains it, and strategy monetizes it. So if you hear you're concerned about your growing cloud costs, right? You want to bring down that cost, which is number 1. If you're here as a CIO, which I've experienced a number of times, you want to invest in more innovative products. But it's difficult for you to take that budget to your senior executives and say, oh, this is just vision for why I want to do this investment. If you are in that category too, the company to speak to is Marlocks Technologies. We're just out there. But when you step out, you see our goods right in front of you. We will help you look up for ways to bring down your cloud costs. Organize workshops for your sales executives to educate them properly of the importance of financial operations strategy in an organization. And finally, to help our CIOs, CTOs, CEOs have that report that will justify why the management should approve your cloud investment. And with that, we can have more people leverage more and have more value per dollar you spend on the cloud. What we're all about is every dollar you spend on the cloud, are you getting value from it? Thank you very much.